Donald Trump is having a meltdown on Saturday morning as barricades are being put up in Washington, D.C. around the White House and the Treasury Department building. Not really sure why these barricades are going up, but is he barricading himself in while he is sending emails begging his supporters for more money? Ben, I need your help. I hate to ask you this, but I'm going to need some more money from you. Here are the barricades going up last night and into the morning, just so you can see for yourself. Play this clip. Now, there are a few protests that I guess are being planned in the Washington, D.C. area, but not sure why they would be having those barricades around D.C. But we all know that Donald Trump hides in a bunker and is scared of the people. He knows that he is despised. I mean, take a look at the latest Fox News poll regarding the disastrous budget bill he's pushing that will take 15 million people off of Medicaid. 59% of Americans oppose it in the Fox News poll. When it comes to the Quinnipiac poll, only 27% of people support it. And when it comes to the latest Pew Research poll, only 29% of people favor it. But Donald Trump continues his grift in his little bunker. Donald Trump sent the following email at 6:51 a.m. in the morning to his supporters. I subscribe to his listserv, so you don't have to. And here's what it says. Ben, I hate asking my supporters for help, but today is one of those days where I just don't have another option. Ben, I need your help. My end of quarter deadline is less than 48 hours away, and I need your help to reach my presidential fundraising goal ASAP. I wouldn't be asking you unless it was important. What do you mean you have no other option? Haven't you been selling meme coins and making billions of dollars off of the presidency? Why are you begging your supporters for more money right now and for your presidential fundraising goal? For what? You are in office and you are destroying the United States of America. What? So you can make more posts like this that Donald Trump made late last night? Where does CNN get its talent? Just watched someone named Abby Phillip lecture her audience on tariffs and the economy, which is doing record business. Just pause there. I'm going to rebut that in this video as well, but I know you know that already. She has absolutely no idea what she is talking about. Strictly third rate. Fortunately, the audience has long ago left CNN, and it will only get worse. Losers all. That's how you are spending your time in the presidency? Also, it seems like you are watching CNN because you're saying that you were watching it and you're attacking Abby Phillip. Then Donald Trump posts the following. Why are the Democrats always rooting against America? Question mark. We actually support America. We don't support an orange Mussolini dictator like you who's destroying America and ripping it to shreds from within. That's why you have the lowest approval rating essentially in presidential history at this time, even lower than your first term. That's why millions of people show up at the No Kings protest to protest you. Then Donald Trump writes the following as well. Fox and Friends weekend is fantastic. Absolutely killing the fake news networks' morning shows. Actually, Donald, the Midas Touch network gets significantly more views than Fox News in the morning on our YouTube channel. By the way, everybody subscribe to our YouTube channel, become a member of our YouTube channel as well. Can I show you what a real leader is doing today? Not barricading him into his little bunker while begging for money. Here's former President Joe Biden paying his respects to the Speaker Emerita Melissa Hartman, the state representative from Minnesota who was murdered by the assassin 2 weeks ago, her husband Mark, and their golden retriever as they lie in state at the Capitol. Here's what a real president looks like. Empathy, caring for the people, showing up. Play the clip. Now, just contrast that to what Donald Trump said right after the assassination took place. Trump was asked, he's consistently said this. So, are you going to call Governor Walz? Are you going to try to reach out and do something about these politically motivated assassinations in Minnesota? By the way, from a MAGA supporter, from a Trump supporter. Remember, all the right wing tried to spread the lies and go, oh, this guy is a Democrat. No. Here's what Donald Trump said. Contrast it to what I just showed you with former President Biden.
Governor of Minnesota's so whacked out. I'm not calling. Why would I call him? I could call him and say, hi, how you doing? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's a mess. So, I could be nice and call him, but why waste time?
So, as you see, the contrast cannot be more stark. Meanwhile, AOC asked Trump voters on her Instagram to share why he lost their support. You may know there was actually a lot of crossovers of Trump voters who also voted for AOC in her district. It's hard to imagine, but there was. So she said, if you voted for Trump and regret it, can you share why and what shifted for you? And here are the responses that she got. And there were countless ones like this. Realized that I was in an echo chamber, a conservative media bubble, propaganda essentially. I thought Congress and SCOTUS would keep him checked and balanced. He said that if we voted for Kamala, we would enter World War III, but he's the one bombing Iran. I'm an ESL teacher. I love my kids. He said only the criminals would be targeted. He lied. I thought he was going to clear out the immigrants who were criminals. Now it's all immigrants. Fell victim to the propaganda, didn't listen to the other side, lost a piece of my humanity. Signalgate, I like some of his policies, but you can't hire totally incompetent people. For my mom, it was immediately pardoning the January 6th rioters. Took her a day. The economy not improving, right? And Trump and his regime keep saying, we've defeated inflation. Inflation is down. Gas is $1.98. We've done it, folks. Gas is not $1.98. Inflation is on the rise. Core inflation in May rose to 2.7%, which is more than many people expected. The disastrous tariff policy against the world is now showing up in the inflation data. And then you have Trump's disastrous budget bill, which today the Senate is trying to ram through. MAGA Republican Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, he says he's not going to support it now, but we'll see. They all usually change their mind pretty quickly. But as Jamie Dupree explains, tucked into the Senate GOP reconciliation bill that was just unveiled hours ago, 926 pages, the senators themselves hadn't seen this thing. It's a $5 trillion increase to the debt limit. One of the things we learn as well is 1 out of 4 nursing homes say they're going to have to close their doors if the GOP passes these Medicaid cuts. In Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth, Governor Josh Shapiro warned that more than $3 billion of energy projects could be threatened by the House version of the bill. And the Senate version of the bill seems to be making it much worse. Energy is a big deal, especially as you look at the Senate budget bill and the House budget bill, and not a lot of people are talking about energy. Trump mocks windmills. He goes, windmills, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he mocks solar energy, and he mocks all these forms of energy. The issue is that the price of energy is about to soar. We're heading to a period where there's about to be lots of blackouts in areas, and and you're going to be destroying jobs as well. And that's in addition to taking 15 million people off of Medicaid. Anyway, this was this morning. Here we have MAGA Republican Johnson on the GOP bill. And here's, if you don't believe me that this bill went from 4.4 trillion in spending to over 7 this year, 7.3 trillion next year, and that this is going to cause massive deficits, listen to him. Listen to what he has to say. Now, my view is probably significantly different than his. I think you should tax the rich more. First, start fairly. Let's start with tax the rich fairly. Then let's tax the rich more. That's my view. You may not like it. I think that someone who makes more than $4.2 million won't feel the hit of getting a benefit of $327,000 from tax advantages than someone making under $50,000 who gets $1,000 or $2,000 taken away from them. I think it makes an overall better society if rich people are taxed more. They're still going to be rich. They're still going to have multiple homes, go on lavish vacations, have yachts, and have planes, and do everything. I think it makes our country a better. That's where me and Johnson are going to disagree, I'm sure. But here's what his view. I think he probably wants to go after vulnerable people more. But here's his view on it. Just listen to him. Let's play it.
We went from $4.4 trillion in spending to over $7 this year, about $7.3 trillion next year. And the CBO baseline would show about $2.1 trillion deficits as far as the eye can see. The score from CBO on the One Big Beautiful would put that at $2.4 trillion. So, my bottom line is, and you know this, both your husband and I ran as Tea Party candidates.
Yeah.
We were $14 trillion in debt back then. Now we're $37 trillion in debt. And Rachel, I just can't accept this is the new normal. So President Trump, his goal in the Senate was to make the big, beautiful bill even better. I'd like it much better. Right now, I'm not going to vote for a motion to proceed today. We just got the bill. I got my first copy about 1:23 in the morning this morning. About 300 provisions by my count. We have scores, just temporary scores, preliminary scores on less than half of that. We don't even have the score.
Now, you will also hear there was a briefing that just took place recently as well regarding the strikes by the Trump regime on Iran. And again, listen to what Mike McCall, the senior GOP member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, he told Manu Raju, of course there was enriched uranium that moves around, but our goal was never to stop Iran from having enriched uranium. That was never the goal of this. Huh? Y'all said everything was obliterated. Do you see what they do here? It's gaslighting. It's lying. Here, play this clip.
It's been severely damaged. It's the enrichment capabilities that were taken out.
Are you concerned about where that uranium might be?
My understanding is most of it's still there.
I would say it's a substantial setback, and that was a first-hand, authoritative, and reliable account. That differs greatly from the low-confidence preliminary assessment that was leaked.
I was very disappointed that we learned very little about the high inventory of high enriched uranium. Very over-optimistic portrayal of what was and was not accomplished by this mission.
I'm almost sorry I went to this briefing because almost everything that was there is in the public domain.
And speaking of the gaslighting and lying, at the end of last week, there was this hearing with the Social Security Commissioner. Now, whatever you believe about Doge and Elon Musk, I think that it was one of the worst things ever in our country. But let's just say you supported Musk and Doge. I don't know why, but assume you did. Wouldn't you want Elon Musk or any representative at Doge to come before Congress to testify about what they've done with your Social Security information and with your Social Security? Wouldn't you just want them at a bare minimum to testify? That shouldn't be a Democrat or a Republican position. But here, the Social Security Commissioner says, yeah, I don't really think that's my job. Here, play this clip.
You think Doge should come before this committee and explain what they're doing, Mr. Commissioner?
I'm here before you explain what I'm doing, and I'll answer any questions.
Doge, should they?
That's not. I don't really think that's my job. I mean.
Now, as I mentioned before, the core inflation rate rose in May 2.7%. And something that I'm focused on as well, that I want you to focus on, that isn't getting enough attention, is that the shipping to our ports has not increased. It has not gotten better. Since the disastrous trade war with China, where the United States caved and capitulated. It's not like since the cave and the consensus where the United States dropped its tariffs that all of a sudden the shipping volume miraculously increased. The shipping volume is still very low. You don't believe me? Listen to the port director in Los Angeles. Play this clip.
And News Nation's Nancy Liu is live for us there at the California ports. Nancy, what is the latest?
Well, Nicole, it's been a very tumultuous time here at the LA ports, which handled nearly half of all cargo for the entire country. The tariff war led to a huge drop in volume last month. A slight rebound is underway, but it may be just temporary. Port of LA Executive Director Gene Soroka tells News Nation overall volume is still down by over 10% for this time of year. And for American consumers, the unpredictable tariff situation will likely impact back to school, Halloween, and even Christmas.
The port's really slow. Cargo volume in the month of May was the lowest it's been in more than 2 years. And even though we've seen a bit of an uptick in June, picking up some of the cargo that was completed over in Asia, it's still lower than what June should like for us. So that means fewer jobs by the dock workers, the truckers, and the warehouse people.
So there you have it, folks. It's all laid out right there. This is what we're learning about on Saturday as Trump barricades himself in or barricades the White House for reasons that who the hell knows. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe as always. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thank you. New Midas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.midastouch.com.